We are back at it once again, guys, and I want to let everyone know real quick. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so yeah, I will probably. It's not that bad. I can still talk fine, but I just can't really raise my voice. And yeah, so yeah, I'll just let you guys know that I do have a bit of a sore throat. It's not that bad. It's not bad to the point where I'm going to be coughing every 5 seconds. But yeah, I do have one, but like I said, it's not that bad. So, with that out of the way, let's run down the Stomping Grounds match card. And I'm gonna say, and I know Stomping Grounds, the build for Stomping Grounds hasn't really been all that impressive. We all know how, we all know what WWE is like when it comes to booking situations. They tend to book things in a corner. They don't make sense. Last minute decisions are going to happen. And they're probably going to do something that's going to make us angry. And so I'm going to be looking at all these 9 matches that we're getting. And I'm going to be looking at the possibilities on what could possibly happen in all of these 9 matches. And I guess there's one other thing I do want to mention real quick. I guess I should talk about this when I talk. I guess I'll talk about this when I get to it, because there's definitely something I need to get off my chest, and that is how the champions are booked in WWE. But I'll get to that when we get to it, when I need to get to it. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up here. We've got Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Heavy Machinery, Otis, and Tucker. And honestly, I'm a big fan of Otis and Tucker. I really do like them. I think they have a lot of potential to be a great tag team. They're a great tag team. And I think they are future tag team champions. But I don't think it's their time yet. I don't think WWE is going to put the titles on them right now. But if they do put the titles on Heavy Machinery, I think that'll be a good move, because it will give them exposure and it will give them an opportunity. And yeah, giving 2 new guys an opportunity is definitely something that is needed. But I don't think they're going to have Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan lose the tag team titles relatively quick. So I'm going to be picking the Planet's champions, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, to retain. But I am hoping for a good tag team match. That's all I'm hoping for. We've got Tony Nese defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak. I want to say that we don't have a pre-show match yet, and I'm pretty much guaranteeing that this cruiserweight match will be the pre-show match. Hope I'm wrong, but it is a shoe-in for the pre-show. I am actually going to predict. Drew Gulak to win the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here. Honestly, I know I haven't watched a lot of 205 Live, but as far as what fans have told me and as far as what I've been hearing from other people, some people have not really been liking Tony Nese as Cruiserweight Champion. And this leads to, why did they take the title off of Buddy Murphy? Because Buddy Murphy, he was such a great Cruiserweight Champion, he could have just easily beaten Neville's record as Cruiserweight Champion, and then you could have given it to someone else. So I feel like if people are saying Tony Nese hasn't been a good champion, or they don't feel like he is at Buddy Murphy's level of an inspiring champion, or a good champion, like a Buddy Murphy and like a Cedric Alexander, because those two were really good cruiserweight champions. And I've been hearing a lot of people say that they've not been a fan of Tony Nese as the cruiserweight champion. There are some people that do like him as champion. There are some people that don't like him as champion. And because I haven't really been watching a lot of 205 Live, I can't really answer that question. But I am going to say Drew Gulak only because I don't think Tony Nese is that type of guy that is going to, realistically hold that title for a long period of time. He's been champion for about a couple of months, and I don't look at him as the type of guy that's going to do a Cedric Alexander and a Buddy Murphy-like title reign, where he's only going to lose the title at the big level pay-per-view. So I don't see that happening. I think Drew Gulak is ready for the title. He's no longer doing that PowerPoint presentation stuff, which I'm happy with. I can tolerate Drew Gulak more now since he doesn't do that anymore. I know he hasn't been doing that since Drake Maverick took over. All I'm saying is that I think it's Drew Gulak's time. I think it's definitely his time to be the Cruiserweight Champion. Next, we got the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I predicted that this match was going to happen. I just said that I bet you that these two will probably verse each other at Stomping Grounds, and here we are. I think they're probably going to make New Day win. But because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been losing quite a lot, I think they need a win. I think they should really give this win to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because they really need a win. Because as far as I'm aware, I've been seeing them in the losing column for a very long time now, and I think it's time for them to get a win. I think it's just time for them to get a win. Next, we got Samoa Joe defending the United States Championship against Ricochet. This is actually a match I'm actually really looking forward to. I know these two men can't really afford a loss, but unfortunately one of them are going to lose. And honestly, I don't know what to think of all. I don't really know what to say about this. I really hope this is a good match. I really would like to see Ricochet win the United States Championship because I think he deserves it. I think he's definitely ready. I truly believe that he is ready for a title run. They've been building him up quite nicely. He has definitely lost several times. But not every loss is going to turn it into a burial, or not one loss or two losses is going to turn it into a burial, or something like that. I think Ricochet has been booked quite good. I think he's had some pretty good booking. Unfortunately, Aleister Black has been getting the bad end of the stick. But I think Ricochet has a good chance of winning the United States Championship. But at the other side of the fence, you got Samoa Joe, which I'm going to be getting into what I'm talking about very, very shortly with what I mean by champions. So, I am going to predict, just for the sake of being different, I am going to predict Ricochet to win the United States Championship. Because here's the thing, right? If you look at this card on paper, there's a lot of there's got to be at least one title changing hands, which I think could possibly be the Cruiserweight title, but again, that could be on the pre-show. But main card-wise, on the main card, they can afford to take one title off someone, and if they were to take the title off someone, I think they'd probably do Samoa Joe to Ricochet. One title is going to have to at least change hands on this pay-per-view. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and yeah, so I'm just going to predict Ricochet to beat Samoa Joe. Because I think Samoa Joe is definitely worth more than the United States Championship. I think they should really elevate him up to the Universal Championship picture. So, anyway, we're going to be talking about, next up, we've got Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. Now I can finally get into what I'm trying to talk about when it comes to the champions. I'm going to straight up tell you guys this right now, and I wish WWE would do this with all their champions. Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins have been booked great since winning their championships. They have not taken any unnecessary losses. Kofi Kingston, since he became WWE Champion, he has won every match. Every match that this guy has competed in, he has won. There has not been a match where Kofi Kingston has taken an unnecessary loss. The thing is, right, how come WWE can do it correctly with Kofi Kingston, but they can't do it correctly with an Iconics? The Iconics should be booked exactly like a Kofi Kingston. Every champion should be booked exactly like Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins has been winning quite a bit. Has definitely been winning since he became the champion. He hasn't really taken many losses. Becky Lynch and Bayley, they've taken, I think Becky has taken a loss, besides losing the SmackDown title to Charlotte. But I mean, Becky having unnecessary losses, like losing on a Monday Night Raw. I don't think she really has lost on Monday Night Raw, but Bayley did. Bayley got pinned by Alexa Bliss on Raw in that tag team match when Bayley was a wild card. But all I'm saying is that Kofi Kingston is how WWE should be booking all their champions. That's what they should be doing. They should be booking all of their champions just like Kofi Kingston, winning every match. It doesn't matter who it is. If they are your champions, they shouldn't be losing. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because I don't want to rant, I don't want to yell, I don't want to scream. Got a sore throat, and I just want to get my point across real quick. So, all champions, they should be booked like Kofi Kingston. There is no reason for them to be losing unnecessary matches. If you want to give them a number one contender, if you want to have them to find an opponent for them to challenge for the titles, you do a number one contenders match. You pin a Dolph Ziggler against Mustafa Ali. Or for Raw's sake, you put a Baron Corbin against a Bobby Lashley. And as for the women's case, like Becky Lynch, you put Lacey Evans in the ring with, Naomi. You just have people fight it out to determine the number one contender. That's all you do. There's no reason to have unnecessary losses. Just for the champions. For the champion's sake. You don't have the champion lose just to be like, yep, you're the number one contender because you beat the champion. No, that's not how it's meant to be. Yes, Dolph Ziggler didn't win a number one contenders match. Yes, he's just been given a title match. But at the end of the day, but yes, I will agree with that. And at the end of the day, Kofi's been booked like a great champion. And I think Kofi Kingston is going to continue that. I would love to see Dolph Ziggler become WWE Champion because to me, he's a lot like Kofi. He definitely deserves the WWE Championship. He's been a long servant for WWE for a very long time. Dolph Ziggler definitely deserves a world title run. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Yet. So Kofi Kingston is definitely going to retain the WWE Championship. I'll talk about Seth Rollins at the end, so I'll skip his for now. We got Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, I've heard that a lot of people are really worried about this match. I don't know why you would be worried. Apparently, the worry is because they think Alexa Bliss is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, yes, that could be a worry, but because I'm a fan of Alexa Bliss, I wouldn't care if Alexa Bliss won or lost. But I feel like, because of the wildcard rule, I definitely would not be surprised if they did. But At the same time, though, I just don't think they're going to put the belt on Alexa. I just don't think they will. The reason why is because again, Alexa Bliss has been having quite a few concussions. She's been injured as of late. She's been injured a bit as of late. Yes, she's getting back into the ring a little bit more. Yes, she's wrestling a little bit more. But have you noticed that all the matches she's been in since she's come back are tag team matches? And she was in a triple threat. They've put her in matches where they can carefully protect her without injuring her. Like putting her in a singles match. They've been putting her in safe matches. They've been putting her in matches where she can feel comfortable that she won't get hurt. This is her first singles match since, I guess, when she made her return against Bayley, because they had a match on Raw after Mania. I think it's been since then she's had a singles match. So, I am not worried whatsoever. I think people are definitely just overlooking this because, Alexa Bliss is blonde. They just think that, because Alexa Bliss is blonde, she's guaranteed to win. That's not necessarily the case. Mandy Rose is blonde, and she hasn't had a title shot yet. Well, since Fastlane. She hasn't really been competing for a title. Hasn't been competing for titles every month. And, it's only some blondes Vince will push. But I don't think Alexa's winning. I don't think Alexa's going to win. I think Nikki Cross is going to play a factor in this match. I think Nikki is definitely going to play a factor. I think Nikki Cross could accidentally cost Alexa Bliss the title. What I would do, this is definitely something that I would do because I think this would be a nice twist. Because you know how Bayley mentioned on SmackDown, and people like to shit on Moment of Bliss, but the Moment of Bliss with Bayley and Alexa Bliss on SmackDown, that was great. I loved it. I loved the segment. Sure, people sour on it because it's Alexa Bliss and it's a talk show. We get so many other people with talk shows. Who cares? But that edition of Moment of Bliss was so good that I feel like that was probably the best Moment of Bliss we've had for quite a while. And honestly, I would not be surprised if they have a factor with Nikki Cross. And honestly, what I would do, I know it's a long shot, I would have Nikki turn on Alexa. I would have Nikki Cross full on turn heel on Alexa Bliss. Because Bayley mentioned how Alexa always takes advantage of people. She always turns her back on her friends. Bayley's trying to tell Nikki Cross, hey, you shouldn't trust her. Look what she did to Nia Jax and Mickie James. What if the roles reversed? What if Alexa trusted Nikki so much that Nikki Cross still had that psycho character, that psychotic character that she had in NXT? She still has a little bit of that psycho, she still has that psycho character within her. And she just goes insane and she just lashes out on Alexa. This gets Alexa Bliss as a babyface because I just see them looking to, if you look at this match on paper, I feel like they're tingling more between Alexa and Nikki Cross. They're not trying to put a belt on Alexa just to be like, oh, hey, she's a 6-time champion, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think they've got more coming. They're definitely focusing more on Alexa and Nikki Cross. So that's why I think maybe they could have they could have Nikki Cross turn on Alexa. I think fans won't see that coming. I think fans won't see that coming at all. Fans will expect Alexa Bliss to turn on Nikki Cross. They'll be like, oh, well, Alexa's going to turn on her. There's going to be a point where Alexa's going to get sick of Nikki Cross. Well, what if the role reversed? What if they did a role reversal? They had Nikki Cross turn on Bliss. In my opinion, that sounds great. At Extreme Rules, you could do this at Extreme Rules. You can have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross take on the Iconics. Now, I know they're going to be focusing on Asuka and Kairi Sane, but if they really wanted to revisit these four again, they could definitely do it at Extreme Rules. They can have Bliss and Cross versus the Iconics, and Alexa Bliss is the one that takes the pin. She's the one that takes the pin for a loss, and the Iconics win the match clean. They don't do any roll-up tactic. They just win the match with their finisher. And then Nikki Cross is all concerned for her friend, and then she just beats her up. You have Nikki Cross go full-on psychotic. She just beats the crap out of Alexa. I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. Instead of just doing Alexa Bliss turn on Nikki Cross, why don't you have Nikki Cross turn on Alexa? It's time for Alexa to become a babyface. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years now. It's time for Alexa Bliss to become a babyface. So no, I don't see this match as a way to get Alexa Bliss to win another title. I see them focusing more on Cross and Bliss. So I think Bayley is going to be walking away with the W, and then she's going to go back into her program with Charlotte Flair when Charlotte Flair returns. Becky Lynch takes versus Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship. You know, I'm gonna straight up say this right now. I know people are gonna not like me for this. I don't mind Lacey Evans now. I know I was sick of her when she was doing nothing but walk back and forth, walk back and forth, walk back and forth. Yeah, I got sick of that. But now that she's competing, I don't mind her as much. I think her character is... I guess her character is a bit meh. But her mic skill is pretty good. She carries herself quite well with the microphone, in my opinion. And yeah, she's definitely got a lot of work. Because, you know, I feel like she does have a lot of work to do with her in-ring skill and portraying her character. But I get the lady character. I understand what the whole character of Lacey Evans is. It's a classy lady who believes, you know, who believes what other girls look like that's not classy. So Lacey Evans feels like the clothing that she wears is classy. That's what a lady is meant to look like. But then you got other ladies who are polar opposites. So I get Lacey Evans' character. I get the character. So I get the character. But I don't think it's good to the point where people are going to take it seriously. I know there are people that like Lacey Evans because I do follow quite a bit of I actually follow a lot of the wrestlers on Twitter. And there are definitely a lot of Lacey Evans fans out there. There definitely are. So, you know, every wrestler does have a fan. And if you think if you think being a fan of a wrestler is a fan of a wrestler that you're not a fan of is stupid, then no, it's not stupid at all. It's natural. It's natural. Like for example, like I didn't like Asuka. I didn't like Asuka at all in NXT. But since she's come to the main roster and the way she's been booked, I felt bad for Asuka and I've started to give her a chance. And I've never liked Bayley. And I've stuck that way. I've never liked Bayley. Never have. Not even in NXT I never liked Bayley. I never have liked Bayley. People have asked me why I don't like Bayley. I've given my reasons why I don't like Bayley. And, you know, people are acceptive of that. People accept that, you know, it's okay to dislike a wrestler. And that's the true fact. It's okay to dislike a wrestler. But what I don't like is that if you like a wrestler you dislike and then you shit on a person or you make fun of that person that likes that wrestler or just shits on that wrestler so badly the fans are gonna attack you because you're being rude. Sure, everyone doesn't have not every wrestler's gonna be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not saying I'm a big Lacey Evans fan. She's growing on me a little. I do like her character. I do like the way she talks. Well, the sassy Southern Belle. I like how she talks. But I just don't think she's ready. I don't think she's ready for a championship. It's too soon for her. And I think they should end this feud here. I think they should end it here and move Becky on to somebody else. They could definitely do Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch on Raw, but to continue the Alexa Nikki Cross storyline that I said. But I just don't think Lacey's ready. I just don't think she's ready yet. She's got a lot of work to do before I am accepting of her as a champion. So I'm definitely going to go with Becky Lynch to retain. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Good old rematches. We gotta love those rematches, huh? A lot of people are definitely looking towards Roman Reigns to win this match, but yeah, I can definitely see that point of view. But I think you people need to understand that, you know, I was wrong at WrestleMania when I said, hey, they're not going to bury Drew McIntyre. I still don't think they have. I still don't believe they have buried Drew McIntyre. The loss to Roman Reigns wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but the way it ended was pretty bad. So I definitely will say the way the match ended at WrestleMania was a bit lackluster. I think these two can do better. I think these two can definitely do better. And this time I want a different result. I want Drew McIntyre to defeat Roman Reigns. And that's what I'm going to be going with. I'm going to be going with Drew McIntyre to defeat Roman Reigns. Reason is because Drew McIntyre needs his win back. You can have Shane McMahon. Interfere in this match. Or the Revival. The Revival aren't doing anything. You could have the Revival interfere in this match and help Drew McIntyre win. Having Roman Reigns lose 2 matches isn't going to kill this guy's career. It's not going to hurt him at all. A loss never ceases to hurt Roman Reigns. It's the same thing with Charlotte. A loss to Charlotte doesn't hurt her because she's straight back into the title picture. And that's another thing with champions. Like even Charlotte was booked terribly as a champion. She's even taken unnecessary losses. I bet people don't remember that because they hate Charlotte so much. They think WWE protects her so much that she wins every match. She doesn't win every match. I've seen Charlotte lose several matches while she was champion. Remember that time when she versed the Riot Squad when they debuted? Ruby Riott pinned Charlotte in her first match. So yeah. So even Charlotte loses matches while she's champion. So that's another thing I think people need. That's another thing that people need to look at as well. Just because Charlotte and even Alexa Bliss has lost matches while she's champion. So they're not technically over push. They lose while they're champions as well. But back to my point of view here. I just think Drew McIntyre needs to win, and yeah, I think he needs a win, and you can have Shane McMahon or the Revival interfere. So my signs is pointing towards Drew McIntyre. I'm definitely going to be going for Drew McIntyre to win. As for the special guest referee match, this is the last thing I'm going to be talking about, and then I'm out of here. I've heard a lot of people say Brock Lesnar is going to be the special guest referee. First off, he's the Money in the Bank contract holder. Why would this is just a logic question, because Baron Corbin has to pick the referee. Why would Baron Corbin pick Brock Lesnar as the referee? Because he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. He could cash that in at any time. So why would So why would Baron Corbin stupidly pick Brock? When Baron could be concerned that if he was to win the title, which we all know Baron Corbin will be a world champion down the line, the way he's been booked. Why would Baron Corbin stupidly pick Brock Lesnar as his referee? If he was to win the title, let's say Baron Corbin wins the title, why would he stupidly pick Brock? He wins the title, Brock Lesnar could always take off the referee shirt, cash in the briefcase, and pin Baron Corbin right there and then with a cash in and become Universal Champion. So why would Baron Corbin stupidly pick Brock Lesnar? I think that's one thing people need to look at here. You may think, oh well, Seth doesn't like Brock. Brock Lesnar should definitely be the referee. I don't think so. Look, if it turns out to be Brock, then it's Brock. And I think it's a pretty silly mistake that Baron Corbin would pick Brock as referee, because he could cash in at any time. I am thinking the special guest referee will be Shane McMahon. I think it's going to be Shane McMahon. Because the reason why I'm thinking it's going to be Shane McMahon is because, think of this, guys. Think of this. Shane McMahon's the referee. Seth Rollins is Roman Reigns' pal. Shane costs Seth Rollins the Universal Championship, and in that Extreme Rules, you get Roman and Seth versus Shane and McIntyre or Corbin in a tag team match, or whichever way you want it. It could be Shane and McIntyre, Shane and whoever. You could have Roman and Seth versus Shane and any one of his lackeys. That is a possibility. That is a definite possibility. Do I want to see that happen? Do I want to see Baron Corbin as the reigning Universal Champion? I kind of do, and I sort of do, but I don't. It's more like, I'm more looking at, I don't want him champion, but then there's a part of me that I'm like, maybe we should give him a chance. Because, let's face it, Baron Corbin, he was going to be WWE Champion when he won the Money in the Bank. And then that whole incident happened and he lost his push. I can't remember what the incident was, but he had an incident backstage and that's why he lost the Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin was going to be WWE Champion in 2017. And I feel like Baron Corbin is going to become a world champion at some point. But I don't think Baron's reign will be long. I don't think his reign would be long if they were to put the belt on him. Kind of like Shane McMahon, with all the stories about Shane McMahon becoming WWE Champion. I don't think Shane's reign is going to be long. I think it's probably going to be like about a couple of weeks. At best. So now that I think about Corbin and Shane possibly becoming world champions, sure, I won't like it, but in reality, I think it won't last long. So do I stick with my idea of Shane McMahon becoming the referee? It's a possibility. It's a possibility that Shane McMahon is the referee. If it's the main event, which I believe this match should be the main event, which I think Seth and Corbin should be the main event. If it's in the main event, it's going to be someone like a Shane or a Brock Lesnar that's going to be in this position. But if it's, second or third on the card, it's probably going to be like a mid-carder, like an EC3 or a Bobby Lashley. It's probably going to be someone like that. If it's early in the show, it's going to be a mid-carder. But if it's the main event, it could possibly be Shane or Brock Lesnar. I'm more leaning towards Shane because I don't think Brock is going to show up at Stomping Grounds. So I'm predicting Shane McMahon to be the special guest referee. And as much as I would love to see Seth Rollins retain, if Shane McMahon was indeed to be the referee, then all signs point to Baron Corbin winning the Universal Championship at Stomping Grounds. So, there you have it, guys. That has been my predictions for WWE Stomping Ground. I have hope that this this pay-per-view could turn out to be a good show, and I hope it turns out to be a good show. And if it doesn't, then I'll definitely say it wasn't that good. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up, comment your opinions down below, and I'll see you all when I do my live stream of my Universe Mode first pay-per-view. See you then.